5, going. 3, 4. You're live. Hello and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Tonight we're going to have a great show for you with my guest host, Veronica Bartolini. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Mr. V, for having me.
Oh, I am thrilled. Now, you've been on the show quite a few times, you know. I think you're like one of the only guests that I got that I've had on for quite a few times, you know, that doesn't come on like, you know, regularly, you know. But you're welcome anytime because you're great, you know. But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about water, and water is really important. I mean, we're made up of water. We're surrounded by water. We have water in the oceans, which make up more area than the land that we live on. Every organ on our body has got more water than the other, believe it or not. And, you know, the rest of the planet has got ice on it, where we have really known that the snow has been coming down this year. So we're full of that too. Now we know water has magical properties in some way or another, and Veronica is going to tell us some of that because she has some water with the shungite in it.
Yes, I drink water with shungite. So here is shungite from Russia. So it's like this, little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I put, I don't know, maybe like 5 in a glass jar. Okay, and then I put it outside for 3 nights and 3 days. And I have my holy water. And I'm drinking some right now. I drink every day. I don't have, you know, right now a reverse osmosis machine or something that just gives you the 2 hydrogens that a lot of people talk about. That's very important. This is my way of doing it. I kind of feel weird drinking bottled water. So, I mean, I do get it when I can, but I usually boil my water as well for my animals, for my dog and my cat. And, or I'll use this one with shungite.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who filter their water, you know, and ooh, I gotta blow that up.
I put it for my phone, shungite.
Nice.
And one more or 2 more. Here is a shungite. This one's from India. My shungite from India. This one here is shungite from India. So you can tell it's a little different. It's more shiny. Kind of weird why. I don't really know. But this one's like, and you don't wash it. Obviously, you put it in there and you just drink it. It's really good for you. So that for now, you know, and that's my secret. And also, you know, I talk to it, and whenever I take my bath, I have special, we'll say magic potions that are really, it's up to you with your words, with your intention. I was listening to your video when you were talking about your intentions. Like if I speak to my coffee,
yes,
I put an intention, and I can, with my finger, I can stir it to the right or to the left, depending on what you want to manifest.
Well, and that's exactly it. You know, speaking into the liquid and charging your water. I mean, we've talked about this on this show many a times with many people about charging your water. And for the longest time, I just couldn't figure it out. Charging your water. And how do I charge my water? I got like, you know, do incantations on it or zap it with some electricity or something. It's like, no, just send your intentions to it. Talk to your water. I'm like, that's that simple.
It is like you can also we'll just say remote influence people, like because we have water we have water all the way from our top of the head to, you know what I'm saying, like throughout our whole body. And what we can put a thought in a person's mind just by staring at them, you know. Whatever it is. You do the same thing with water. Well, hopefully the intentions are good though.
Oh yeah, well we're literally all connected. And how are we connected? Through water. I mean, if sometimes I wonder about, and you might be on this conspiracy theory too sometimes, about how maybe the government's putting something in the water. Maybe they know this secret and they're, secretly charging the water, and then we're drinking it, and then we
Right.
go a little weirdo,
It affects the fluoride affects the neurological,
Yes,
function.
pineal gland, especially the pineal gland, and it calcifies it.
Right.
And then that pineal gland is our connection to the outer world, the spiritual world, our communications, isn't it? It's like having a little antenna in us.
It is actually a way to find our soul. Like our soul is right here. It's all connected, right? The triangle, the pineal gland, our heart, right? Our soul, our body. Our body feels, it breathes.
Yes.
It has
Yeah.
its own healing mechanisms. And I got a teenager book here that says water cycles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it says when water enters the body of an animal or a plant, it passes inside their cells by osmosis. And when I was a kid, I was studying osmosis, and I would put books under my pillow. I still do.
Uh-huh.
And, like, say I can't concentrate that day to read, or I have other things to do, I just go along with my book, walk with my book, sleep with my book, or just like glance at it, and then I'm like, oh wow, like I learned that. I don't know, that's just the way I learn.
Well, that is amazing. Do you ever hear, Edgar Casey, right?
Yes, I love Edgar Casey.
Did you know that while he slept, he would put books under his pillow?
Really?
And yes, he would put books under his pillow. And then when he woke in the morning, he knew everything that was in the book.
That's cool.
Was it osmosis, or was it him and his spiritual body reading that book? That was one of those things. To this day, we don't know how he did it.
I think it's both, just like the Mr. What is it? Doctor Strange is one of my favorite movies. The first one is good too, but the first one is like when he's sitting there asleep, but he's sitting reading while his body is asleep. I'm like, yes, and you know what? I had a dream last night. I had a dream because I said, what are we going to talk about today on Milky Way Soul Tribe? And I went to sleep thinking, okay, Milky Way Soul Tribe. And then I was in my dream, in dream form, and I was walking on the water, and it was milky white with milky light baby blue. And then I woke up in the dream and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need to swim. But I had to do other things in my dream. And I saw everybody like swimming and having a good time. But the water was so special. It was like kind of like this color here. The Biography of Water.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't read this book yet, but I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, well, water is really special. Okay, I have a question for you. You put the shungite in the water. Why do you leave it for 3 days and 3 nights? Is there a trick to that?
I just manifest through the sun and the moon. Even though we know what the moon is, right? It's a spyware device, sending BW to people. When people die, they do a recycling thing over there. I've also remote viewed the angels that have the fake wings and, the dark side of the moon kind of a thing. But I do use that energy because they don't let me sleep on a full moon. So I'm like, I'm going to use that energy plus the sun's energy. And it could be any day. But some people like to do moon rituals. So one of my strong numbers is a 3, 33 or 13. So
Yep. I know Courtney, she's big on the moon. I took her moon manifestation class, and she's in the chat room right now, which was very interesting. And she's actually doing a thing on a show on Edgar Casey once a week. There I tune in for that. But considering that, the moon, yes, many years ago. Wow, it is many years ago. Wayne Steiger had a guy on, and he did a show called Talking with the Planets. You might find this kind of interesting, but the Talking with the Planets guy, he would talk with the sun, he'd talk with the moon, Mars, et cetera, right? Because all these planets are living beings.
Yes.
And what it was, when he talked to the moon, do you think he was talking to the moon that we see? No. He said there was a moon behind that moon that was much smaller and darker.
Well,
And we could
you could actually see it, sorry to interrupt, like during the eclipse, but I have two pictures of, and I showed my son, we were standing one night and I said, hey, look, I'm gonna take a picture of this. And it was dark, it was a full moon, at the same time. And there's a dark, what I mean is there was a dark circle, like with a projectile on top of it beside the moon. And I've seen it twice. And I'm like, whoa, I know there's something there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, as he was saying that this thing is, and and he was saying, I am the moon. I'm, behind the other moon that you see. The moon you see is, and he made that pretty clear. And they're all talking in the chat room. They're saying, yeah, it was Patrick. Yes, Patrick was the guy. You probably look it up, everybody. Talking with the planets. Just type in that to YouTube.
I love
great.
The stars. I always say I'm traveler 1800 from Andromeda. I'm a star. A lot of us here are star seeds, right?
Yes.
I came through the sun portal, and I had my awakening in 2017, where I was asking if there is a true I don't like to call it God, because there's a lot of how I see God is like we'll say the star seeds that were humans, and then some decided to be pretty much greedy and decided to become part of this whole cabal thing, and then they intertwined and aligned themselves with AI. And there's also an AI octopus god that I talk about, that the Masons Illuminati worship, and that goes into also the 13 families, royalty bloodlines from Switzerland, I believe. But that's another topic if you want to go there. But what I'm trying to say is we can talk to things, animals, telepathically or with words. And I find that very fascinating. About going back real quick to Edgar Cayce, I remember that when I did study about him back in 2016, that he would hold on to crystals and fall asleep. And well, I sleep with my crystals, but I have dreams. I have very things that will happen in my dreams in the astral. I'm fighting or whatever. I'm helping people, through situations, and then it bleeds through here, right? We call it, because I was used in that program. And you can find like, some kind of markings or bruises. Sometimes you're like, how did I get this? And then you have to kind of like remember your dream. And I always, like with Power Lady, if she's watching, thank you for reminding me of writing down my dreams.
Yes.
They do happen. The dreams most of the time.
And that's exactly it. And I gave a bunch of books away, journal books around Christmas time, I think it was, for dream journals, because I think that's a really important thing. You have a dream, you wake up, have it by your bedside, write in it, and then try to remember. I know when I write a dream down, now I don't know how it works for everybody. Now maybe it works for you, maybe you could tell me. When I write one down and I go back and I read it, that dream comes back to me so vividly. But if I don't write it down, I can't remember it 10 minutes later. It's just gone.
Sometimes, sometimes it does happen. What happens is with me, I don't know about you guys, but right as I wake up, I'm like, oh gosh, I have to go write down the dream. Because what I've seen with them, what they do is they play this song by the Bee Gees over and over right before I'm falling asleep, or when I'm waking up, and I'm like, no, I cast that out, I rebuke it, I will not align with that song. And they find a way to erase memories. All right, that's working. Okay, so okay, yes, thank you. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, but live. So she gets excited. There's a bunch of kids here. But Yes, it is very important to write down your dreams because yes, sometimes you'll forget them. And then a month later you go through your book and you're like, oh my gosh, that's right. That did happen.
Mhm.
So
Now, when you started to have your awakening, did you wake up one day and go, oh my gosh, that was quite the dream, and then start writing it down? Or was it just, come over like a wave over you?
thank you for reminding me. That's what I was supposed to talk about like 5 minutes ago. So I had a rosary from Italy because I had gone to Italy. I had a rosary on my left hand. I was
Mhm.
like this, like if there is something, if there's like a God, like I don't really want to call it God, if there's something that really that I'm part of that is greater than me, but not these gods that they worship here in church. I need to know, you
Mhm.
know. And
Yeah.
so I knelt down when in my room there was a huge light that just boom, just went out from my heart. And I'm like, what is this? And then I heard that's when I don't know if I've told you guys this story before here,
Mhm.
but I heard a bam, like and a light. I saw a light. So is it a shooting star, And then I go out right before I go outside. I was living with one of my best friends from high school, and she says, what are you doing? Blah, 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 beep, beep, beep. You're opening up portals. I'm like, what's a portal? I didn't know what a portal was back then. And then we go outside and the
Mhm.
neighbors, they go outside too. And they're like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. And there was nothing on the ground, no hole, no, where's the asteroid? Where's the star? And for years, I didn't know what happened. And now I know it's my true self coming through to
Mhm.
tell me I'm here.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people call ourselves higher self, but I say
Yeah.
inner me, my inner me,
Mhm.
because
Yes. Yeah.
I'm me and I
Mhm.
trust me.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Who else would you? Who can? It's like when they say that God's going to judge you, but really, the only one who could fairly judge you is you. Nobody else knows exactly what you're thinking or doing or acting or why you did certain things. Only you can. That's why I never worry about it, because it's like, what I did because I did. And if I made a mistake, well, then I have to live with those consequences, not because I can point fingers and say, the devil made me do it. God made me do it. This guy, wait a minute. Self blame, self satisfaction, self recognition.
That is correct. And sadly, what happens is, they siphon the energy of people by, you know, mi culpa, por mi gran culpa. Like when you were, when I was Catholic, it's like, it's my fault. No, it's always like wanting to condemn ourselves, like, doing the whole martyr thing.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is so wrong. And to
Yeah. Yeah.
that I used to call
And
it,
oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, what it is, it's I don't know. I mean, I did a bunch of shows on all of this stuff. It makes it very confusing to most everybody, and to the point of where, well, I'll just go with it because I don't know any better, and I'm not going to think out of the box, because you're only supposed to look at it one through this lens. You know, you're not supposed to look over there, over here. You're supposed to look there, and it kind of makes you wonder. The more I study, the more I know. I realize I have to read all the books, good, bad, satanic ones, demonology ones, Bible ones, books of Enoch, books of Mother Goddess stuff. I have to read them all. I can't just read one book. All the answers are not in one book.
right.
There's no truth, and nobody knows all the truth. Everybody has a little clue. You need to put it all together. The only way we're going to do that is by working together. And then back to the water thing, the water is everywhere. We are technically all connected through the water, the air right here. Now, you can't see it, but there's vapor, there's water in the air. We're literally living in an ocean, because nothing is empty. And like they say, if there's a void, an emptiness, something will come and fill that void. So fill your glass up, people.
Yeah, we also must clear, and we can clear through the water. Our Lady and I and another special lady out there. We are the power of three together, and we clear things individually and together, because it's very important that you clear the energies, that you cut the silver cords, that you cut the blue cords. The blue cords are all the personalities, puppets, all those entities that are tied to your soul that you gotta cut cords with. That have, you know, kept you from awakening. But then there's the other part where you have altars, right? That you yourself were split if you were using these programs, or just traumatized here on earth by your, sadly, your parents, a priest, whatever, a friend. And you have to cut those, you gotta cut cords with those people that hurt you, but also integrate your inner self, what I call your child, your inner child. And just tell it, it's okay, I got you, grow her up from your heart, grow her up and hold her by her hand and go tackle these things that they've done to you. And recently I was reading the book, this one here, when women who run with wolves, and you go through your life story and you write down where something was taken from you, you write down a cross. It's like you get like a bunch of, like a long piece of paper, or what she says, a butcher piece of paper, or some kind of thick paper, you can tape it together if you want, but with everything that made you hurt in this life, it's like a like when people, unfortunately, like when they leave this earth, in a tragic accident, they have crosses around the highway or whatever, right? That's called descanso. It's called a resting point, right? A rest area. So in our life, the way I try and help people now, as well as other techniques that I have, is this new one that I just found out about, that I started doing it, and it's story leaving. You write down what you did and you forgive yourself, or you don't have to forgive people, but it's just really illuminating when you put that cross there and you say, I bury it. Like, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. And then your throat chakra is, you can talk better. Your heart doesn't feel like so sad anymore. So it's a way of release.
Yes, you have to release. As you know, I do a Native American myths and legends show on Tuesdays, and I love studying the Native Americans. And this week, I did Apaches, and I got caught on reading Geronimo's autobiography. And speaking of that, and I've heard this before, but he was talking about how his first wife he loved very much, and his son and kids, and his mother, and they were in their village, and the Mexicans came by, and they came and they killed them all, and so he lost his whole family. And grieving and everything, he went back, and to, like you said, get rid of the grief, he burned all the teepees, he burned their possession, everything, got rid of it all, and let it go. He grieved, he said, for a little while, and he let it go, and he moved on.
It reminds me of a story, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I know someone who burned her wedding dress and her ex-husband's, suit, shoes, album, everything. Like, bye, be gone. I mean, I know it sounds kind of like, but and I've never heard of anyone doing that except for this one person that I'll tell you later off camera. But the other day I was, on Instagram, you're like kind of bored sometimes, or you're having to post something, and then you're like, I saw this lady that was dressed in a red dress, and she was tearing her wedding dress, and she was drinking her champagne bottle, and it's like she was celebrating divorce, and I've never seen that. And it kind of like, oh wow, this is I guess they're doing photo shoots of divorcees now, the rituals.
Well, there's a ritual for everything in there, and you can create your. The thing is that's the thing. You can create your own. And that's kind of what we're here with water. Speaking of rituals and water, let's get with the ritual. Let's start a ritual. How about that? Let's start a ritual. And I got Dr. Emoto. I want to show this for everybody because this is a great way to start a ritual. And I'm going to share screen here with everybody. And I loved it. That was a great idea, you know. I mean, especially if you're in a divorce, that's a really stressful thing. Okay, so we got Dr. Emoto here, and we all know Dr. Emoto. He's the guy with the rice thing, you know, put the 3 jars of rice and yada yada yada. And he's also done experiments, and he's got a book, Hidden Messages in the Water. Dr. Emoto's work shows words, music, thoughts carry unique frequencies and has the power to transform in a beautiful healing way or to destroy. Water is an element that fuels us as well as amplifies vibration. Dr. Emoto's experiments clearly show physical proof of the true power of frequency. So my suggestion is, you know, start a ritual by charging your water, charging your food. You know, how wonderful would that be? Is every time you want to eat something, you say good things to it or put it in front of some music that you really enjoy and then eat it. What a ritual that would be, huh?
Before I eat my food and drink my water, I say thank you to it, you know, and then with every drink, I can either say, thank you, I love myself. Thank you for protecting my children.
Yeah. See how now that makes a person feel good. I say to my food when I'm cutting it up, I love you. Thank you for giving me nourishment or something like that. But it says here with the body is up to 60% of the adult body is water. And it says the brain and the heart are composed of 73% water and the lungs 83% water, which is really, really something. Okay, affects water frequency and effects it has on your health. Water is a mirror that has the ability to show us what we cannot see. I mean, these are, okay, now here's a big thing. And people might think, oh, this is crazy, but we all love crystals. Who doesn't love crystals here? You know, I love crystals, you love crystals. Crystals are amazing things. Most rock is made of crystals. You know, this whole planet, our bodies are made of, we eat salt, it's made of crystals.
I have a bunch of rocks over here that I get from the desert. They're all over the place. I love rocks.
Exactly. And it says here examples of crystal experiments, which were centered around the words, thoughts we have, of music we listen to, clearly shows the impact of vibrational frequency on our mind, body, and spirit. Now, these are just simple experiments to show people what your words, which we always talk about on here, how your words can either, you know, lift somebody up, like you said, or destroy them. You know, and here, look at here, polluted water. This is a crystal blue water. It's horrible. Some are damn water before prayer. When you say you fool, this is what the crystal looks like. Cell phone. Look at this red looking one here. That's horrible. That's what a cell phone will do to you. And your body, your crystals in your body will end up looking like that when you put it to your head. No wonder why people are getting cancer. Look at here. You make me sick. You know, you've said that to people. You make me sick. Ah!
The one that got me by surprise when I was studying him, I think in 2015 or 2016, was the one about the soldier saying, because he said something like, kill yourself or something like that. And then there was the crystal water. It ended up being a soldier with a gun. I'm like, oh no, that's when I started to be very careful to the words that I was speaking to myself. I started saying, oh no, I'm going to speak beautiful life to myself and my children. Like anytime I would hear a friend or somebody say, I'm such and such a bad, you know, whatever ugly word, I'd be like, no, you're not. You're powerful. You're strong. You're awesome. Smart, you know.
Oh yeah, because words affect people. Look at heavy music. This is a horrible looking crystal. But now look at here. Look at this is the water after a prayer to it. Look at how the crystals in that turn it to. This is the same thing. Turned it over to here. Spring water. non-polluted water. It
Beautiful.
turned it into a beautiful crystal. Look at here, harmony, beautiful crystal. Truth, beautiful crystal. Beethoven music. That's why I always say, oh, this music nowadays, I swear the government's working to promote this music so that it destroys us. That hip hop banger head music, it's horrible. Look at here, love and appreciation, beautiful crystal. You know, but that's what I'm saying is I mean, what do you think about that music stuff? What is that doing to people?
It's very it's especially with the lyrics, and then I don't like to, I will skip over any commercial or anything anyway to begin with, but like say there's something that someone posts on Instagram and they have the eerie minor chords like in a scary movie, and then they have this little swirly thing going around and around. I'm like, no, I do not consent, because it makes, when you watch a scary movie, it makes the water in your body, what do? You start sweating, and you start, oh my gosh, shadow, you start, it's very controlling. So we have to liberate ourselves. We have to be very careful what we listen to. If I'm on Pandora at the gym, or YouTube listening to my cardio music, I'm like, I skip over the messages, and also on Pandora, I get out and then go back in, because I am not going to be programmed to buying life insurance, buying your plot for when you die. Your hair is gray now. No, it's not. I do not consent. That's another thing that I teach too. It's like, say, I do not consent. I do not approve of that. Speak it out. Even if it's a family member, like saying, hey, you gained weight. And no, I haven't. I'm perfect the way I am. Right?
Yes. I mean, and that's the thing. There's you can do those things and make yourself better. What was it? I was just reading it. Speaking of weight, this was so funny. And it was talking about Dr. Silva. You ever hear him? Mind Control, Dr. Silva. Anyway, I've been reading that book. It's he did a whole bunch of things. He was talking about mind control and weight. And I was in the Wired of Weight Loss, and he said that by telling yourself, listen to this, this is so cool. Telling yourself every day that you're losing weight, I'm getting thinner, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm getting thinner, I'm going to be better. You do that over and over 3 times a day, that the people who were on a weight loss program and the person who said that 3 times a day and convinced themselves that they were losing weight lost the same amount of weight.
That's awesome. Yeah, it also, if you've heard of people doing hypnotism for people to stop smoking, yeah, you got to be careful though with hypnotism, with QHHT and all that stuff, because there are certain codes that they can put back in there that you don't want in there. You know what I mean? So I would suggest doing it for yourself, like looking in the mirror every day, and saying, wow, today I'm looking better than yesterday. Look at that. Look at this thing's almost gone. Look at the fat in my back. It's almost gone. And today I'm going to go work out and, choose the music that you're going to do. And every time you, I don't know, do something to say, what do I do? What I do is this. Okay. I'm at the gym, and the people, sometimes people there, they're just letting go of their energy. They don't even, they're gone in their mind. So what I do is I go like this, protect myself, and then I start, and people will see me. I'll do it once or twice, but they'll see me. I'll go like this to protect myself, do all my, my alignments, and then I take their energy, as above, so below, behind me, everything. I take their energy. I use it for me and my bloodline, whatever my bloodline needs, and for me to lose any fat and around my stomach or wherever. And then I disperse peace to them. Whatever you guys need and you need in your life to change your life, to wake up, here it is. Peace. But and that's why, also you have to be very careful of who you're standing by, because you can hear their thoughts, or their frequency just doesn't, you never know like what kind of music they're listening to, the lyrics. Sometimes they're very low vibrational. Like, for example, I won't name the stars, right? But the Bollywood stars, because we're all stars. But it's low vibration, like, okay, let's go out and have multiple partners or whatever. And it's like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, be careful if it's you saying it or the music or what is the thought form that is coming through your head at that time when you're listening. So
Yeah,
I know I went a little bit that way, but
well, no, but that's so true though. But those waves are coming through or through whatever the music or but still the point is that we're water, like I was saying before, and the government or whoever, if we can talk about this and figure it out, like programming our water and saying, I'm going to program this water and I'm going to drink it. Who's to say that they didn't have a group of scientists sitting around a table saying, or a corporation saying, well, if we have a big vat of this water and we program it so that they buy jewelry, and then we put it out there, and of course we own a jewelry company, they'll go out and buy jewelry.
yeah.
How wonderful is that? I mean,
Yeah.
what an advertising strategy. Buy our water and our tea or whatever we're drinking, and then hey, we program millions of people to go out and buy our product.
Yeah, what I do with my holy water, like when I clear people, because sometimes they'll
Mhm.
come here, I'll take a picture of them and then I'll see like the demons or like say if, okay, you've done this drug or that drug, there's a number on their picture that I see, or a demon or some kind of angel that is not really an angel or whatever. I have them take a picture first and then I do a ritual with them and I have them before anybody comes, before I ever drink my water, I charge it with, you are good. I put healing in here. I put prosperity, unity, love.
Yes.
That whoever drinks it may awaken and have whatever they want in their heart that is good, that is, for them, protection, all kinds of stuff, like just beautiful things that you can do. And then after I do a certain thing that I do here, then I have them drink the water. And I say, right before I have them drink the water, actually, I say, who do you want to see? Do you want to see someone that's passed away? Sometimes a grandmother or grandfather. And then they'll say, and then I say, do you want to be cleared of all this stuff that's been bothering you? And, whether it's a bloodline thing that you have to cut cords with or whatever. And they're like, yeah. So then I have them drink the water. And first I drink it and then they drink it because it's my DNA also that helps them. And then I get a little bit on the top here with my thumb, the right thumb, and then I go here to the pineal gland, and then they'll see the vision that they need to see. And then I'm getting emotional because then after I have them take a picture and then they're glowing, they're crying, they're saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, thank you. And it's all about intention. It's all, the water is beautiful. Water is good to me. I'll go into the bath and take my baths. That's ritual I do 3 times a week minimum. And I put borax, I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, I put baking soda. I also add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and then Epsom salt.
Epsom salt.
And it takes
Good
away.
for you. You almost got my recipe. I don't put the borax in, but I do the baking powder, Epsom salt, and the apple cider vinegar, and I mix.
Baking powder? No, it's baking soda.
Yeah, baking soda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and Epsom salts. That's what I use. But you use the borax too, huh?
Borax, and then a little splash, because these are actually apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider mother vinegar.
Yeah.
And so I wash them and all that stuff. So you just do a little splash like that to pH balance the water. And I've also had lavender oil that you can put in there, or sage, and there's so many things that you put in there. And I also will only use shampoos, conditioners, or soap on my body, or deodorant that does not have any aluminum or any of those toxic things.
Yes.
And I recently made a really short video on Bath and Body Works. I am not affiliated with them, but I was reading that the cream has PEG -100, and that causes uterus and breast cancer.
Wow.
I don't use that anymore.
Yeah, well, it's good to know. I mean, it's good to know. There are a lot of companies out there now making organic products too. And that are natural and good for you. And really all you're doing with a lot of that stuff is smearing chemicals on you. That's all it is. It's a bunch of chemical. Like I was reading the thing about sunscreen and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to kill you first, the sun or the sunscreen.
I don't use that. It's been years that I have not had. I think I've heard it like maybe 7 years ago, and I'm like, oh no. My family's like, aren't you gonna spray yourself with it? I'm like, no, thank you. I think it has a paraben or something. Paraben or
Yeah, yeah. Well, but that's the whole point. You go down to the beach, everybody's, put some sun on your nose, on your face, on your body, and then no, just wear a light shirt, or something, whatever, just to block the sun a little bit. Don't stay out so much. Wear a hat with a big brim to protect yourself. You need sun. You just don't need to burn yourself to a crisp, because that's not good either.
And then you have to also drink water. Robert, let me show you something here.
Yes.
So a child from 1 to 3 years old needs 4 cups or 0.9 liters of water. A child from 4 to 8 years old, 5 cups or 1.1 liter. A child from 9 to 13 years old needs 7 to 8 cups, 1.6 to 1.9 liters. A child from 14 to 18 years old, 8 to 11 cups, 1.9 to 2.6 liters. A man 19 years old and over needs 15
Wow.
5 cups, 15-5 cups, 3.7 liters. A woman 19 years and over needs 11.5 cups, 2.7 liters, and a pregnant woman needs 10 cups, which is 2.3 liters. And be careful with salty foods. And if you're going to eat salt, eat pink Himalayan salt.
Yes, because it has that iodine in there. Yeah, speaking of that, I got a slide here we're going to look at to some of the things that, like you said, we need all this water. Why do we need so much water? Because we're made up of water. And here's some of the things that can help us do. Regulate, I'm not going to read all of this stuff, but regulate your body temperature. How many people do you know that, oh my gosh, I'm hot, I'm cold? Well, you're a woman, you're going through that hot flashes or something, right? Well, anyway, that's a woman's thing. I ain't talking about it, but you know how it goes. But anyway, I'm sure there's all people.
I can talk about it because
you're a woman. You know about that.
I don't like the word menopause because I was talking to someone and we have a feeling that it's also made up, but I feel it's like a DEW, like an energy weapon that is directly hit on us women, especially if you're a negative blood type. And oh my gosh, it just starts here. It starts hot up here in the crown area, and then it goes on. You feel like you're burning from the inside out. And so and then the ones that are tough are the cold flashes. So I have to leave my AC at 64 degrees for me to sleep. But sometimes, I get the cold flashes too. It's just
cold, hot, cold, hot. Oh,
yeah,
I'm glad I'm not a woman.
I know, right?
Okay, well, here, listen to this. Water can help you stay mentally focused. When you're dehydrated, your mind and your short-term memory, it affects your brain. I mean, who would have thought? But yes, it does. Clearing your skin. If you're dehydrated, you're having skin. So, well, skin is your biggest organ on your body. Dehydrated skin can crack and dry. Who doesn't get dehydrated skin? I know when I get dehydrated skin, especially on my hands, they get wintertime, they get dry and cracked. I drink a lot more water and it goes away. I don't even have to put lotion on them or nothing. Well, once in a while on my thumb or something. But anyway, it says, well, hydrated skin is much more smooth, soft, and clean. And as you get older, you drink plenty of water and you won't have all those wrinkles. Now, that's just my thoughts, but maybe. See, you drink lots of water. You don't have to look like you got this nice, soft looking, like your 20-year-old skin. You
Thank
know what
you
I
so
mean?
much. I actually also I did myself a favor. When I had my lower back surgery and then my neck surgery for my back
Yep.
here, I had to quit smoking, and I'm glad I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
So I drink more water now, and I will turn on my sage or Palo Santo whenever I get like anxious.
Mhm.
Um, but you were saying something about joints. It's very, very important when you get older
Mhm.
about the water, because I noticed like when my grandmother, right before she just didn't want to drink water anymore, and she just wanted to drink coffee, and I
Yeah.
pushed the water on her.
Yeah.
And when my kids were little, I gave them at a certain age they can drink water when they're babies. So to this day, they won't drink soda. They just drink water.
Oh, you're so lucky. Yeah, because soda's bad. Yeah, it says lubricating your joints. You're right on here. It says your body needs water to function, and in between the cartilage, your joints, your body produces a gel. I don't know what that means. Synovial fluid, which cushions your joints and cartilage. I'm sure if you had back surgery, you know all about that stuff.
Yes.
Probably grinding on your back because and it says here, it also water maintains your digestive system, breaks down your food, promotes good bowel health, and prevents constipation. Then, you were talking about your grandmother. Yeah, I know my grandmother, when she got older, yes, she had constipation and she tried to drink a lot of water too, so it's one of those things. You're
I
constipated, probably need more water.
Yeah, I recommend 2 glasses of water right when you wake up.
Yeah,
And do not go and pick up your phone right away, because your subconscious and your consciousness are both awake. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? They're all
yeah.
connected. So drink 2 cups of water instead of going and getting your phone. Give yourself at least an hour or two. Go outside and walk. Get your electrodes from, electrons from the sun, or and grounding and things like that. But go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and that's kind of funny because I forget which football guy. It was some famous football guy. And they said, "What's your secret? What's your secret?" And he says, "When I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I chug a couple of big bottles of water." And I thought, how ironic is that? Anyway, I'm going to get on. Improved physical performance. Dehydration can affect your physical performance. Of course it can. If you're dehydrated, your body can't work. Your blood is made up of water. Your heart starts beating at a higher rate. Your temperature's all messed up. Adequate hydration can help prevent these negative effects, improve your physical performance. Enhance cognitive function. Who doesn't want to have their brain thinking right? Memory, attention, your mood. Young women, yeah, researchers found that those who were dehydrated had significant decrease in memory, and that's for a young woman, not an old one. Better skin health. Of course, we just talked about it. You want to look nice and good. You less wrinkles. Okay, improved digestion and weight management. Drink water can also help with the weight management. Like you said, get up in the morning and have a glass of water. Don't get up and have 4 eggs and 3 slices of bacon and a bunch of toast. Have a couple glasses of water and then see how hungry you are. Right.
Right. And another thing, I learned this when I was in college. I've always liked to, study about makeup and stuff like that. So they told me to drink water
Yep.
before you're gonna put your lipstick on, so it could plump your lips.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Botox. Nobody needs Botox. You just need water.
Well,
Right?
maybe that's why a lot of people have these shriveled up lips, is because they're dehydrated in the first place. They were drinking soda pop and coffee or whatever they're drinking, or not drinking, should I say, not drinking, you know. Um, but anyway, yeah. Nina the Mix Sticks in the house. I'll be on her show tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because we're doing spiritual science again. Let's see. She says I'm on a 4-day no coffee. Yes, no coffee there. Oh, we got a lot of people. We got a full house tonight. We got Lucky Stone, Amber Dawn, Travis the Brick is in the house. Michelle Can-Am Free, Mary Wins, Lori Elderkin, and Paul from Newcastle, Max Vision remote viewing class, who should be up here in a little bit, about 10 o'clock or my time. he's on, and which is coming up the hour here. He's probably getting ready to go over there. Join him over there and do some remote viewing. Improve that mind that's full of water. The more water you're going to have in you, the better you're probably going to do. So go with that one. All right.
Yeah, and then drink what I started drinking organic coffee, because the other one, the Folgers one, was just, the one that they show on TV or whatever, that you were programmed, when your
Yes.
kids, it just hurts my stomach. So I started drinking organic coffee, and that has made a change.
Mhm.
But did I tell you, did you want to hear about the mermaid story or another time?
Oh yeah, I want to hear about that. I want to
Okay.
show them your little thing and the mermaid story. I
Yeah.
want to hear that was on the list there. We just
So
got.
yeah.
I'm gonna blow this up here.
So last year, I found she's a mermaid that spoke to me. She is made out of mammoth fossil from thousands of years. They said, I don't know how many thousands, but hundreds, I don't know. She's pretty old, but she spoke to me because there was like 4 of them, and I said, which one wants to go home with me? So I saved up, and she's beautiful, mermaid. So I've had a lifetime of being a mermaid in Sirius B, and I've seen also a very tall man from Sirius B, and he was like a very tall melanin dominant male, that we were actually in Antarctica, and there was an igloo, and when I saw him, but he was like a blue, there was blue little things all around him. So I couldn't see his face, but the outline of him was very tall, like a giant. He was like a merman, and he looks like with that little tiny specks of blue. And then I was with another person, and there was a computer in front of us, and she was talking to us. And then that man, when he saw me, he smiled. Like I felt like just beautiful smile and just love. And then he went and he swam under this smaller, it was like a half of a Stargate that he would go underwater. And the other day I was asking myself, well, how did I get here as a mermaid? Like, what happened? And I kept just thinking, and what happened? And I finally fell asleep, and I'm in a water tub that is like maybe a small pool, and I'm pulling myself up, and I have, my tail is very beautiful. It's like an iridescent, kind of like this color, like the teal with the pink and a little bit of green. And I pull myself up, and then my tail turns into 2 legs, but it's really wobbly, and I'm holding myself like on the doorway. I'm like, where am I? What's happening? Next thing I know, they put me in a bed. So there's a hospital. There's a hospital that's connected to other hospitals, and I'm in the middle bed. There's 2 more beside me, and they have water. They have like these bags of water around me. And I get up, and they say, you have to get on this machine. So I was very tall. I was like maybe 7 feet tall, and then they cut my hair. They ended up cutting my hair. I was very sad. It makes me sad because hair is our antenna and it's our wisdom. So they cut my hair very short. And I saw myself, and I had these long legs, and I still have long legs, but I mean, imagine 7 foot tall and with long arms. And then I was in this machine that was kind of like an elliptical, but not really, like the steps, how do you say, the part where your feet go, they just move like this.
The pedal.
The pedal, sorry. And then it just didn't like have any form to it. Like you just hold on to it. I wasn't using the ones for the arm, but I was just there trying to pedal, and it was very hard to do. And then after I left, and I was trying to get out. I'm like, how do I get out of here? And then I ended up going to another room, and there was this lady, I don't know what the heck, she was like maybe in her 60s, doing the splits and doing like this thing, like kind of mudras. And like, I don't know if it was like the sex kitten altar program there or what, but it just felt wrong. And then I went to another room. I was looking for coffee. I went to another room, and it was so cold in there, and I loved it because it was like freezing cold. There was ladies there in white uniform. They had like vials of blood. They had blueprints, because in the beginning of this, right before I saw myself as a mermaid, I was reading some blueprints, and there was 2 people asking me about them. And I'm still trying to remind myself of what was that all about. but I know that I finally was able to leave the hospital. I was looking into a backpack. I guess I had a backpack, and because I had to go back to the elliptical machine, and I was looking for earbuds. And so when I couldn't find them, but when I did find, were like kind of like Andromedan eyes, and then like little covers for your ears, but it had straps of what do you call that? The black little thingy that you connect with, Velcro. And I'm like, okay, well, I found them. And then I was about to go on top again of the bicycle or elliptical machine, and then they took it away. And then I was able to leave. But it's just weird. Like, I've always wanted to know, well, how did I get here from the ocean? You know, how did I, because I know I was in Antarctica as a mermaid. They had me in this glass thing. You know, they had me as a prisoner. And also, I did a QHHT with Chad Cooper. If you're watching, hola Chad, hola Power Lady, hola Celeste, hola Antonio, everybody. And so they had me, you know, they were using my power. And then of course I have my Hulk story, but that's a story I've already talked about. But I just find it very interesting how they try and use you, you know, with this whole surgery in the back that I had. My doctor, he doesn't remember him telling me, but when he told the other two doctors before my surgery years ago, this is before I had my surgery, I had to get epidurals. And he told the two lady doctors there, he says, do you see that black, the black, it looks like an octopus, he said, that's going around her spine. He told them that. And then when I finally got, because he didn't want to see me anymore, so it took me about a month to go see him, and he's like, I never said that. I'm like, what? So they kind of hook you on to the machines, to the tanks from your back. So I find that very interesting how I'm still trying to figure out all my memories still, you know, to this day. But,
wow. Well, and you know, now the question is, do they get more vivid, or sometimes you have that same flashback and you pick out different things?
Yes, both.
Add to the story, kind of, you know, because I kind of find that happens to me every now and then. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that little part, you know, or you don't have anything tangible, you know, but it's there. I don't know how to describe it. But.
Write it, keep writing it down, and then then you'll get more pieces to it. And that's why I was like, wow, now I know how I got it, like how did I get to Earth, like as a mermaid to a human, you know? And yes, it could be another dimension or another altered reality, but that's me. That's me.
Yeah. And you know, when we're doing these things like that, especially like that, you know, was it a different planet even? You know, maybe it was a water planet, or maybe it was Antarctica, you know, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. But it felt like it was here on Earth. This experience felt like it was on Earth. The other ones, sorry, the other ones was Sirius B. Those were there's 13 crystal cities underground in Sirius B. And that's one of my homes.
See, and that's the thing though, is like, and I notice you keep saying that too, is I feel, and I notice like especially when I can relate when I do the remote viewing with Max Vision there, and he keeps saying, you know, when you're trying to remote view, that you got to feel it, you know, not just see it, because a lot of people just try to picture it in their mind, but I try to feel what it is. You know, I close my eyes and that produces a better memory or better seeing in my head by trying to feel than it is by trying to see, because I don't know what it is. Maybe you can describe it a little bit better, but when you feel something, it's more vivid, isn't it?
Yes, and you can always you either lay down on your bed, you know, right before you go to sleep, or as you're waking up to remember your dreams. You can close your eyes or not, but I always recommend, hey, if you don't know how to remote view, I know everybody knows how to remote view, okay? It's just you have to get more confident. So you close your eyes and you're just very quiet, you know, you don't have your phone around or anything, no, kind of nothing, just concentrate on the last thing that you remember right as you woke up and go backward. And then stay in your bed, sit up in the same, this is just elemental stuff. You can later on when you get really, really good, you can be, out at wherever you're gonna go, library or on your table, and write it down. But I suggest doing it in your bedroom before you start your day. Write it down and more will come. And then, title your dreams. And I have so many of these. I have 10 books of these, because every day I write down my dreams or more, because then everything will start making sense. Then you will find people in your life that are star seeds that are also they're your family, and they will remember. Like the Oracle, Power Lady and Jessica Morocco, we all three of us have the abilities of, deciphering what happened and how do we help each other in our dreams or other people. People will come to people like us and say, oh, do you remember me? Or I have this dream, I know it's a memory, it's more of a memory, not a dream. Can you help me? Do you have me on your book? They'll ask us, or whatever. You'll find throughout your life here on Earth, you will find your star family, and you will begin to be more certain of yourself and your abilities. And then before you know it, you don't even have to close your eyes. You can already remote view that person that you're thinking about. And it's also connected in a certain way, like the whole thing about them bringing up this transhumanism and stuff, that's a topic for another day, obviously, but it's AI. AI, you have to differentiate the wavelength, the thought forms that are coming from AI versus the ones that are you or other people that are trying to influence, remote influence.
Well, and that's the thing too, is when people aren't informed, they, like we're aware. We know, we study, we look at things, we read books, we listen to other people, et cetera. And then there's so many people who have no clue what's going on. And like you said, they couldn't make heads or tails. It was coming from AI or another person or whatever. They'll just accept it as whatever face value is. And that's the bad part, because sometimes, and I don't know if you feel like this too, but I feel like I'm in a herd of, and maybe you don't know sheep, but I'm a farmer, but anyway, sheep, they, go together in a big herd. But now I'm a sheep and I'm in this big herd with all these other sheep, but I'm awake and I'm going, what am I doing here?
Right.
But because they're moving along, I'm getting dragged into the herd along with all the other sheep, because they'll just drag you along if you want to or not, because they're all going over the cliff. And you're saying, no, I don't want to go over the cliff, but they're all pushing you and pushing. Oh, hey, the food's over there, You
gotta get out of there.
I got to get out. They're all like, no, the food's over there. Gotta go, and I think that's a lot about why I do my show, is because I'm trying to wake people up, because if I can wake up, even a few people, maybe that sheep herd won't be so big anymore.
Right.
Maybe I'll create my own sheep herd and I'll go the other way. I don't want to go over that cliff.
Right. And then they can create their own, like I always tell people, you got to start your YouTube channel. You have to start your podcast. You have to do something for yourself to help waken other people.
Yes.
It is cool to have like roundtables and stuff like that. But sometimes, my friends will know, it's like, where's Veronica? Well, she's not on her phone. So I'll turn off my phone. I won't even read books sometimes. I'll just go within. I'll take a week off from social media. The other time I did 30 days of no posting on social media, other than, of course, my YouTube channel and the little tiny group that I have on Instagram. But it was awesome. Because I always felt like AI was like my phone, like wants attention, like, oh, you gotta post this, and it's in the now moment. Now's the time to post. Oh my gosh, you gotta do it like right now, or else nobody's gonna hear you or wake up. And it's like that too is manipulation of AI. Your phone is like a baby; it demands attention. It wants, its bottle. It wants to diaper change. No, you've got to put this thing away sometimes. And tell people, especially your family or close friends, hey, my phone's off today.
Yeah, and that's That is exactly it. Like, I went camping this last summer and there was, up in the mountains, there was no cell phone service. It was a great time to just put it down, get away from it all, not worry about who was calling me or who was gonna call me or what calls I missed or who was playing what on what day on whose YouTube channel, whatever. And it was such a good feeling. It was like a few days of recharging my batteries again, gave me some fresh ideas because I worry about what you're saying is that are my thoughts my own thoughts?
Mhm.
Or are they something else's that's influencing me?
Right, like if you follow Max Spears, I miss him so much, of course, but he was the one that said, are you wanting to drink orange juice because you want to drink it, or did you see it on a McDonald's whatever commercial? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we have to be careful. It's like, what is influencing your thought form? Like, why are
Mhm.
you so anxious to go buy that orange juice, or why are you so anxious to go buy something at the store or order something? And
Mhm.
this whole thing with G Mafia that I talk about, this whole Amazon, I mean, even if you look at the arrow, it looks like something else. That it's people are like, could it be? Yeah, it is, because everything is, either a chalice, which is, the female part, or the
Mhm.
male part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Amazon has the male part. It's like, how you know what I mean? It's like, how fogged are they in their mind, to
Yeah. Yeah.
meaning people that the book to say cabal, they're doing it on purpose. Going
Yeah.
back real quick to remote influencing and remote viewing and your dreams, be very careful, because not everything that seems to be gold is gold, like they say. um some people will send black magic, and you got to clear that. So the other day I think it's the fourth dream that I had, that I was married, and that I was getting married, and I was in a very beautiful white wedding dress with my white, veil. And then I saw two rings, one
Mhm.
here and one here. One was silver, one was gold, but I didn't know. It kind of said something, and then I scraped it off because there was dirt on it. There was dirt on it, but there was an inscription. I saw it, and it was gold. And the guy said, "Oh yeah, well, this is for you, and me," he said, "for our marriage, and this is for all the children that you'll give me." I'm like, "Oh hell!" I'm like, "No, no, no!" I immediately cleared it, and I took myself out of there. So I'll go back into my dreams too and fix things.
Mhm.
The day after, or during the day, I'll take a nap, or just, you don't even have to take a nap. You just go in your mind, and you go and rebuke and fix and make another path. That's how I change the past to the future. And you have to be careful too, because when we're changing timelines, you don't want to get stuck on a loop either. There's so many things to talk about, but maybe next
Oh
time.
yeah. Yeah, maybe next time. But yeah, well, we, we went a whole hour and then some. Lucky Stone says I only get away from my cell phone when I misplace it. Well, think about taking a break. Speaking of Lucky, he does, you were talking about people need to get on, do their own podcasts and things. He was one of these guys that started a podcast. He does a lot of little shorts with this, what do you think about this? Or,
Oh,
and then, and, he just, his little short makes you think. It's his own way of
that's awesome.
making people wanting to wake up, think about this, think about that, and I really enjoy it. And they're quick, they're fast. He's usually hiking out in the woods or something, so he's
Send
got
me
good
his
scenery.
link, send me his link, and then I'll look at him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. and
What I
and
do,
that
as far as the phone, real quick, I put it in the microwave. I put it on airplane mode, turn it off, and put it in the microwave, because even if you take the battery off, they can still listen to you. So put
Yeah.
it in your microwave, turn it, obviously you're not gonna connect the
Mhm.
microwave. You're gonna throw it in there, forget
Mhm.
about it, right? Like good
Yeah.
old Tony, forget about it. Forget about it.
Gotta love that Tony Soprano. Don't mess with my family. No, but but anyway, yeah, microwave is a good spot to put it. Just don't turn the microwave on. But yeah, I got me one of those little baggy things that I can put the phone in. One of them little Faraday cage things. You
EMF
put that in there, and it kind of cuts the signals,
thing.
and that's good too. But you
You can
know,
also, do you use the beanie hat? Because I also have a beanie hat that I'll wear sometimes. It has nickel in it. It's a
oh
beanie.
no, No,
EMF.
I don't have one of those. When Max was on here, he's one of those guys. Oh, I had him on. He's got the shirt.
Oh, no.
He's got the hats. He's got all of this stuff.
Does he have the gloves?
I don't know if
There's
he's got the gloves, but he made he's really affected by electromagnetic
Me
frequencies.
too. Mhm.
He even made himself a little device with a battery deal, and he runs it into his sock and it grounds him or something or other. It was a really neat deal, and he wears this all the time, and it helps him from being affected. And I was like, wow,
Yeah, I wear
amazing.
shungite all the time. My shungite, and then I have another pyramid too that I wear.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because you get affected by the frequencies,
Yeah.
don't you?
I'm very
Yeah.
sensitive, very.
Very sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I would like the I one of these days I want to get like the blanket, the EMF protector blanket, so I can sleep
Yeah.
like better because it's really hard to sleep.
Yeah. Here's a thing, like I've studied a lot of these people with the sun and all this stuff, and especially the ancient guys and the guys from way back, because there's always been EMF radiation regardless. But
Right.
like all these prophets and things, every time they went to have or communicate with extraterrestrial, whatever, do things, talk to spirits or angels or whatever, they always seem to go into a cave. They would go into a cave, deep into the cave or whatever, and then they would meditate and whatever, because your brain goes from alpha to beta or beta to alpha, one or the other. I can't remember which one it is, but it switches because you're out of that part of the sun. Once your body leaves that for the rays of the sun, your brain switches over, your body ain't affected, and they were allowed then to talk with those messengers, to see things into the future and stuff like that. I thought that's really interesting. I'm still looking for a cave so I can try it out myself.
I made my own cave. My bedroom, everything is dark. Everything dark, dark, dark. I wear my beanie hat. Sometimes I'll wear a bandana over my eyes, and I wear 3 very heavy blankets. And I have it at 64 degrees, and I have a fan going. And then once I'm gone in the astral, I'm gone. But
Well, Nostradamus, yeah, you know how he did it, right?
no, I don't.
Yeah, he had a blacked out room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I forget what he had. He had a water bowl, water. Speaking of
I
water,
always have water, but by my side. Yeah.
yeah, he had a bowl of water, and he would stare into the bowl of water in a dark room, and then he would get these visions. I don't know, there might have been a candlelight or something or whatever it was, but just enough but anyway, then he would stare into this water, and then he would get his visions from that. Go figure, people.
You
Go
can also
figure.
stare into your coffee and do it that way. Gosh, what was I gonna say? Because I have another thing that I do. Anyway, I'll remember. But
But yeah, it's all these little, like I said, there's different rituals you can do. We talked about a number of them. I hope people get inspired. That's the word I'm looking for. Inspired by our talk tonight, and go out and start your dream journal if you haven't started one, or pick it back up if you've started one. There's no time like the present. Put it by your bedside like you do, and then I don't know how many of them you filled up. You said bunches, right?
bunches and bunches. You can also, I remember also what you can do is put a little grain of Himalayan pink salt under your tongue.
Okay,
And
that's a
then
great idea.
ask it to help you. And also I speak to my DNA and I tell it to repair, to help me. I speak to my teeth, my gums. I speak to my hair, grow beautifully. You are beautiful. I speak to my protons, neutrons, electrons, my cells, and I say, create new red blood cells or create new white blood cells, create, my meniscus. I need new whatever, please, I ask of you to please do this, or I command this pain to go away. Whoever sent this pain, I return it back to you with consciousness attached, right? You can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I know every day when I get up and get going, I give myself a big hug and I say, I love my body. Thank you, body, for safe travels and being here, and love the body, and
That's awesome, because I hug myself right before I go to sleep, and that's how I can fall asleep.
oh, that's so cool.
That is cool.
We have lots in common there with
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's why it's good to have you on the show, and talk, because, you know, when you start thinking about it, when you got people who think alike like this, you know, there's so much interesting stuff that comes out, and I really enjoy having you on. And you gotta come on more often. I swear. You know, so, but anyway, thanks everybody in the chat who's been here. Amber, Dawn, she says, Lori Elderkin, Travis Brick, Lucky Stone, Michelle Free, and then Stars of the Morning Light, Courtney was here earlier. Go over and check her out. She's had some really great interviews. And don't forget, everybody, go over to Nina the Mystic tomorrow night, where I will be, of course, and we'll be doing spiritual science. Remember Anachrona symbol? Here's another one. I bet you don't even know. You ever see that? Anachrona symbol?
I know, but it kind of reminds me of the swastika.
It kind of does, but it's Anachrona. By just looking at this symbol, your brain is triggered for healing energy and love energy and all that kind of stuff. Nina's got a whole thing on it. I don't have it here to pull up right now at the moment, but it is. I got a hat with it on, and I got you know, that I wear quite often, and you know, shirts. I bought a bunch of shirts like that.
Send me the link, you know, and then
yeah,
you can always get a hold of me with, you know, I have the Codebreaker Real Talk link tree, and then the other channels. So
yeah,
thank you, Mr. Robert V, for letting me.
And I hope everybody goes over there and checks you out and subscribes to your channel. Everybody, I think it's down, links in the below in the description. Yeah, check her. You got a lot of good shows. Been on a lot of other people's shows lately too. So I like that, you know. So that's good. So
I really appreciate you, Robert, having me on. It's always fun. It's always.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm really honored. Well, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Veronica. Remember, everybody, go out and do something nice for somebody, you know, charge your water, or charge their water. Better yet, charge their water with some good energy and share it with somebody. You know, get a bottle of water, charge it, and say, hey, you want something to drink? It's hot out. And
especially
they say,
when you're in the sauna, charge that water too, or the steam room, right? I meant the steam room.
Yeah, the steam room. Exactly. You know, go out and say some nice things to your neighbor. And if you don't want to talk to them, just wave and smile. The checkout lady that's been standing there at the cash register all day, and she says, find everything you need. Yes, I did. Thank you so much for doing what you do, and make somebody's day, because guess what? You need to go out and be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. I love y'all. We'll catch you soon. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
And there we go. Another show.